Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So we're on the Pioneer server and we have Aurora available and we're going to go through her entire skill information. Keep in mind this content is subject to change due to it being on the Pioneer server by the time of global release. So she is a mage celestial with a range of 5, and of course everyone's excited about Aurora because we're all going to get her for free up to Supreme Plus. So let's take a look and see, is she actually going to be meta for anything. So she's going to begin with 0 pre-fill energy. This is her ultimate ability, Starlit Slumber. Aurora summons her unicorn Sunny to her side and drifts into a deep sleep. Sunny inherits 140% of Aurora's health and 120% of her other basic stats, then creates a rainbow aura that inspires allies. All inspired allied summons gain 50 haste, and their movements become smoother, letting them move past enemies and obstacles more easily. This skill can be cast even when Aurora is under control effects. Now, the unfortunate thing is it seems this is only applying to allied summons, not actual heroes. Like, it says a rainbow aura that inspires allies, but it's only allied summons, and that's really awkward because really there is no summoning meta right now. And it does seem like they're trying to make somewhat of a summoning meta with Aurora, but let's continue reading. So while asleep, Aurora stays invincible. For normal attacks, she conjures objects from her dreams and hurls them at enemies to deal 320% damage. If Sunny gets defeated in battle, Aurora jolts awake. Once awake, she becomes vulnerable to enemy attacks and can't use any skills except for her ultimate. So the interesting thing is that you want her to actually be asleep. That is ideal for her, and having her Sunny, basically unicorn, remain on the battle. But whenever Sunny dies, she's gonna wake up and then she will have to recast her ultimate to summon Sunny again. When a battle starts, the passive Aurora immediately falls asleep and Sunny appears at her side. So that's really interesting. You won't even have to wait for your 1000 energy, you're just gonna immediately get that effect. And the frontmost enemy hero gets marked as a nightmare. This is also really interesting. The mark reduces their haste by 40, but increases their attack by 2%. Which is so strange. Like, I mean, well, increasing by 2% hardly does anything. So obviously, this is a net debuff. Sunny rallies all allied summons to focus their attacks on the nightmare. So it really is just trying to make a summoning meta. But as of right now, what summoners really do we have in the game? We do have Floribel. We do have Cecia and things like that, but like no one is even close to being meta. So like I just don't know like what type of heroes are going to have to be released in the future to actually make a summoning meta actually relevant. Anyway, Sunny is going to inherit up to 220% of Aurora's health. That's massive. So Sunny is basically as tanky as 2 heroes and even more than that, and also has higher basic stats than a regular hero. So he's going to be really difficult to kill. So really like basically a completely different direction when it comes to an actual character design. But it is very interesting. So the Dreamspark Bunny is the skill number 2. This is going to be a 9-second cooldown, initial cooldown 1.5. This skill can only be used when Aurora is asleep, and that's the common trend. Basically, you need to keep her asleep if you want to take the full value of her skills. Aurora summons a magical bunny beside her that lasts for up to 12 seconds. The magical bunny inherits 100% of Aurora's health and 60% of her other basic stats, so now it's like, you know, the more traditional summon, which is like a weaker version of a hero, and deals 100% attack damage with its normal attack. When the magical bunny's duration ends, it leaps to the nearest enemy within 2 tiles and detonates, dealing up to 430% damage to all adjacent enemies. So it's kind of like Damien's toy chariot when that explodes in the enemy team. It's kind of like that. So like, what I'm first thinking is I don't want to face Aurora in AFK stages. I think she's going to be maybe even more brutal than Damien currently is right now. But yeah, that is the Dreamspark Bunny. Okay, Plushification. This has a 3-tile range. There's no cooldown on it. While Aurora is dreaming, reality within 2 tiles around her slowly gets overtaken by her dream. So any enemy within 2 tiles around her, if an enemy stays in that area for 12 seconds, which is a long duration, like this is going to take a while, right, to actually trigger. And if you're talking about PvP, you're going to have to go for a more stall-oriented comp. But they will be transformed into a unicorn plushie, leaving them unable to move or attack for up to 2.5 seconds, which is also really short duration. Like, it's basically Mihira Charm level of duration. If the enemy stays in the area longer, the time required for each subsequent transformation is reduced down to a minimum of 6 seconds. This effect does not apply to unaffected enemies. So she can cycle this more frequently. Like, I think in AFK stages, if you can keep getting the value out of this, there is, like, you know, you can get some value. But, like, for PvP, it's going to be really tough. You'll have to run in a stall or into comp to actually be able to have the match go on long enough and enemies close enough to you, only 2-tile range around you, that will actually be affected by this. So, very interesting skill kit, but I'm not sure how can, like, practically speaking, how much value you're going to get about it. And then Hero Focus. So this is Aurora increases her attack by 16% during battle for every allied summoned from a different ally on the battlefield. Her attack increases further by 2% up to 5 times. So you're going to want to have, like, if you want to max out her attack, but the thing is, it's only 2% for each stack, right? And she's already increasing her attack by 16%. So, like, yeah, it would be nice if you had another allied summon from another ally in the team, but it's not like you're going to run a whole team of 5 summoners just to get a bit of bonus attack. Like, even when you do that, you're going to get a 10% bonus attack, and I think probably even herself will count as one of her allied summons, so probably right off the bat she's going to get at least 2%. So there's a really minor, basically, stacking amount that you don't really have to prioritize this. But the value of the summons we saw from her ultimate ability, which is that it boosts the haste and the movement speed of basically the summons that you see here, and they focus on attacking the nightmare target. That was basically the value we've seen of other allied summons so far. But now we come to her exclusive skill, Dream Veil. This is a 3-tile range. While asleep, Aurora opens her whimsical Dream Theater, boosting the damage of all allied summons by 4% and casting them in special roles. And this is going to go up to 12% damage increase of all allied summons. But still, that's not really going to be enough because summons still, like, hardly do anything. Melee summons all take on the role of powerful knights and take 25% less damage. And ranged summons take on the role of graceful princesses. Their normal attacks will deal extra damage to 20%, equal to 20% of Aurora's attack. Now, of course, these are meaningful buffs. And this is, like, really, if there becomes a really strong PvP summoning hero in the future, I can definitely see Aurora being the must-needed ally for that hero. The problem is, currently, summoning heroes are so far removed from the meta, like, even though Aurora kind of really does try to bring summoners back, it's not really enough, I think. I still don't think it's enough, honestly speaking, for, like, PvP content. And, like, you're just gonna be better off having a really solid team member on your team rather than necessarily a summoner. However, that being said, when we talk about the summoners, I think one which really stands out is Floribel, because Floribel actually also will buff your summons who are entering into the battlefield. Like, Floribel is the only hero which buffs other summons, and Floribel also summons up to 3 summons by herself. So I think if you had to pick one summoner to pair with Aurora, I would say probably Floribel is the best ally to Aurora. Like, and then just run those 2 as summoners, and then the rest of your team fill it out with actually strong, solid heroes. That's basically what I'm thinking right now. Anyway, as for Sunny, Aurora's unicorn friend, he plays the role of the prince. He gets both the knights and princesses buffs to become unaffected. Honestly, Sunny is an absolute beast. 220% of Aurora's health, 140% of her basic stat, or no, 120% of her other basic stats, which are defenses and attack, 50 haste if he stays within the range, and then he also has this 25% less damage taken, 20% more damage dealt, and then also 12% more damage dealt. Like, I mean, this Sunny is not going to be Sunny, he's going to be Daddy, right? So, level 4, when allied summons deal damage to the enemy marked as Nightmare, 25% of the damage dealt ignores all enemy physical and magical defense, and that is also pretty interesting. Like, it ignores all enemy physical and magical defense, but only 25% basically of the damage dealt by summons. And, like, for boss content, see, some people are thinking, could this even mean that Aurora is going to be coming in Dream Realm with your summoning, like, your summoning squad? I just don't see it. Like, you know, we have such good pre-endless Dream Realm damage deals in Chimera that, like, and true damage already ignores all enemy physical and magical defense. So, like, I don't think that she's going to be meta for Dream Realm. However, of course, this just boosts the damage of summoners even further. 25% of their damage dealt is going to completely cut through physical and magical defense, which is almost comparable to then true damage at that point. And then you have her Supreme Plus's Enhanced Force. If Aurora's energy is above 500 while she's asleep, she enters a deeper sleep, expanding the range of Plushification to a 3-tile radius. Because originally it's a 2-tile radius. If she goes up to 500 energy while she's still asleep, she's going to expand the range. So overall, like, I mean, Aurora is a very interesting hero. However, because everyone's going to get her to Supreme Plus for free, Like, honestly, I think you can probably make use of her even at lower level of exclusive equipment upgrade. Because, yes, level 4, which is plus 15 exclusive equipment, is going to boost the damage of summons by a considerable amount. However, you have a lot of buffing, basically potential, and value for your summoning squad, even at lower exclusive equipment. So, probably she would work even at plus 5 or plus 0 even. But, like, obviously, for maximum value, plus 15. Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and show you in the trial stage just to show you how it's actually working. Right from the beginning, there's a plushification zone, and Sunny is going to be spawned. Sunny is going to be spawned right here. And whoa, Sunny even runs out of the radius of the thing, which is kind of bad, because then he loses the haste buff, which he would have had within the range. So there, we have the expansion because her energy went over 500. And now, if for whatever reason Sunny dies, she's going to be able to cast her ultimate again and resummon basically this Sunny, right? And a really interesting part is while asleep, Aurora is invincible. This is actually really interesting though, because even for meta PvP teams, you know, you can just have that instant sleep. She's invincible, she's not going to be targetable, and Sunny's just going to get free value on the team. And Squirrel showed me this replay of him beating basically what I thought was one of the strongest pay-to-win teams, basically the ones I featured in my video, and using the Aurora, because see, look, Aurora is invincible, and Sunny's just going to keep doing something, right? He's just going to keep at least doing something on the team, and Aurora cannot be targeted, and that's pretty interesting. Now, the question is, does she provide enough value for the team while she's asleep? That's basically up for debate, right? But she's not gonna die. She's not gonna die easily because she's gonna remain asleep until Sunny ever dies, and then when Sunny dies, she can just immediately recast her ultimate and then go back to sleep, and she's just not gonna be targetable. So that's really interesting in PvP. And I think there's some uses there, but look at this. So there we go. She did wake up, but then she immediately going to cast her ultimate and then become invincible again. And then Sunny is going to try to do some work. And when you look at the overall damage contribution, if you guys saw this replay that we just showed, the damage contribution was fairly high. Aurora did 30, almost as much damage as Athalia, and definitely more damage than Saida. And that's basically all coming from her Sunny. So overall, I think Aurora is a really interesting hero. I think potentially she could even be somewhat meta for PvP, somewhat meta for AFK stages. For Dream Realm, I just don't see it yet until there's some crazy summoning hero that has like massive true damage or HP loss damage, which may come in the future. But until that, I think that probably she will not be used in boss content. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about Aurora in the comment section down below. Are you excited that we're going to be getting her for free to Supreme Plus? Definitely, she is an interesting hero. There's no question about that. And I'm excited to see what other uses people can figure out about her going forward. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts about Aurora in the comment section down below. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Starlit store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment. And you can actually bookmark this link in your browser. And whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.